Hey everyone, this is Scott from Forgot to Grow Up. Welcome to our Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7 Episode 3 Thoughts video. I just finished watching the latest episode of Star Wars The Clone Wars on Disney Plus, and I'm just going to share my general thoughts on the episode. We'll be getting into spoilers for the 18-minute episode. This episode we spend with the team, or with the with Anakin and Rex and the Bad Batch having just rescued Echo from the Techno Union, and now they've got to escape the planet without, running into too much trouble, which they do this whole episode. And so I obviously really enjoyed this episode because it's spent just watching the team having to get, figure their way out of these different problems as they escape, mostly of which is just a lot of droids, but even those droids have a couple surprises, like that they fly now. So that was a fun little thing to kind of see in this episode. A lot of Star Wars lately is doing a lot of flying things, and I'm okay with it. I like seeing flying stuff, and it does give you a little bit of a thoughts like, Avatar much, but anyways, but yeah, so that was fun that at one point in this episode we see them escaping on some flying creatures, and then we see that the droids actually that these droids are the Techno Union. That in the last episode, or my last video about the last episode, I mentioned that these Techno Union droids are a little different. They're a little I don't want to say slimmer because they're not really slimmer. They're just they're a little more to them, and clearly that was partly because they have wings, a little like energy wing looking things, so that was kind of cool to see. They reminded me a little bit of flying monkeys from the Wizard of Oz, just a little bit. They had that, especially when we see in this episode them attacking the village where the team eventually escapes to hide out after they jump on the flying creatures, which we also met in the last episode. And so yeah, that was fun to kind of see this new thing with the droids, and that the Clone Wars is kind of taking advantage of what they can, which is just kind of expanding on some of these fun things, giving us these things that you couldn't really do in live action quite as well. We did see in The Mandalorian that they will do a little bit of flying around stuff, but particularly with the droids, it's just kind of fun to see that new element with it, and then seeing their attack on the village. Obviously, it's never great to see a village being attacked, but this is also the Clone Wars, and it's Star Wars, and it's fiction. So that was just kind of a fun way to see how the team deals with it. I did feel that Anakin held back a little long. Maybe he should have taken out those things, a little, like the big flying things, a little sooner, but I'm not a general, so I can't really speak. I'm not a general or a Jedi, so I should probably concede to his experience in these matters, but I just felt maybe he was holding off just to show off a little. Maybe that does kind of fit his character a little bit, but no, it's just kind of a joke, but it was just an observation of mine that did seem like he hung out just waiting for stuff a little long. He could have intervened a little bit. He is a Jedi. He's got the laser sword. But yeah, overall, I really just enjoyed this episode. It was kind of fun to see that Echo is still kind of his old self. He has a line at one point, or his first line in this episode, or his first line after getting disconnected, I should say, was along the lines of, "I have a headache," and just kind of making a joke about it, and seeing that he's still kind of in good spirits, seemingly, even though he's been through quite a lot, and that's quite an understatement. But so that was it was nice to see that throughout this episode that he is does seemingly mostly be back to kind of his old self, or still his old self, I should say. That it didn't kind of change him too much as of right now. We obviously have only spent a little time with him in this episode so far, and they were on the run the whole time. But I did just enjoy that. He's the one who's helping them escape a lot through this episode with using the information that he was able to get from the Techno Union's database while his mind was connected to it. So there was a part where I was worried that he might end up being a trap, or you know what I mean, that him being like maybe leading them into a trap, or leading them into like not being what he appears to be, which was helping them escape. I thought he was maybe leading them into a trap. So it was nice to see, obviously spoilers for the rest of for the end of the episode, which is that they end up escaping. So it does seem like he's not like an undercover kind of thing, or like a mole, or some kind of kind of like a Trojan horse, if you will, for the Separatists / the Techno Union. So I hope it stays that way, because I just want Echo to be back with the team, and maybe having to deal with, obviously he still has to overcome probably a little bit of the trauma, but it was nice to see him in at least a little bit of high spirits in this episode, and him and Rex kind of being back together. So I just really enjoyed that. This episode was just a fun one, even though it was a little bit shorter, but I don't mind that. It told the story that they needed to tell, so I enjoyed it. But yeah, that's pretty much all my thoughts on this latest episode of the Clone Wars. Sure, let me know in the comments below what you thought about this latest episode. Thanks again for joining me today. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a good one.